Well, there's different versions of value. Obviously, everybody thinks the common one is dollar amount. Certainly with somebody like myself helping you through the process, my job is to get what your business is worth. That's only part of the equation. The other is keeping all the trains on the track, if you will, to get to the finish line. Again, you've probably heard me say this before, but they've never done this before. So to try and do it for the first time is really hard. I know when I helped with my very first one, it was really difficult. And at the time, that's all I did. Now, if you're a dentist and you are running a business and you have patients that you need to see, and at the same time you're trying to sell your business, I really don't know how you do it. I know there are companies that will come to you and say, hey, we will buy your business from you directly and you don't need a broker. And what they're saying is they're trying to save you money. I've always been told that, and taught rather, that value is a gain, so more. So to bring value means I'm doing more, not you paying less. So again, I think at the end of your career, you really need somebody to help you because it's a really, really emotional, tough thing outside of all the business parts. Yeah, so think about yourself as a patient, maybe outside of your internal medicine physician where you might get a physical once a year. Your dentist is somebody that you're going to see every 2 years for your whole life. Some of these dentists have seen the grandmother, the son, the grandson, the great-grandson, so on and so forth. There's a tremendous amount of trust in a patient going to a dentist that this person is doing a procedure in my mouth. It's very awkward. It's nerve-wracking. People aren't comfortable. Without trust, it won't work. So they spend a good portion of their days getting their patients to trust them. And once they do, it makes things easier for them. So in any sales transaction, the buyer always wants to pay less, the seller always wants more, things of that nature. We remove how we value the business and give it to a third party so there's no conflict of interest. That right there builds trust. In addition, we spend a lot of time reminding the young buyer that the trust that this older dentist has, he or she has built for 30, in some cases 40 years, and that's what you're buying. So you need to trust he or she through the process. They need to trust you so that that goodwill transfers, because that's what you're buying. It removes the variable of cynicism from the young buyer saying, I know you want a bigger number because you want to make more, or John, you want to make more. I didn't come up with this number. For the seller, it's a lot easier for them to say, I didn't come up with the number either. This was based on data that was collected. It's just the numbers. It's just the tax returns. It's just those things done by a company that's done so many of these. They know where it should come in. They price it right so that the seller gets what they deserve, but the buyer also has the ability to go to the bank and get a loan knowing that it'll cash flow. It's very important. I'm a big proponent of starting early. If you have a plan in place, then it's done. When you're ready, you can start the process. Sometimes you're forced into starting the process for a disability or a medical issue, or maybe your eyes start to go bad, or something to that effect, or a bad illness, and then to have to start that process then, it can take up to a year to get all the stuff ready to make it smooth. Also, there's times when dentists will call me and they'll say, you know what, John, I think I'm done. And if we already have a plan in place or we're in the midst of the process, remember we talked about trust. So I met this new dentist. I really like her. I really want her to be the one to buy my business. How do I start? Versus just that, but I already have the plan in place. We can immediately grab that person and have them come in versus starting the process and then having to wait a long time. We might lose that person. Yeah, you have to have a plan. You need to know as a business owner what your business is worth, the value of your business for all kinds of reasons. As part of your estate, should something happen, then they know this is the amount of money that goes into that estate. From a financial planning perspective, if you need to sell your business, or you choose to, and you invest it, how is that going to look in your overall portfolio? Your building. If you happen to own your building, you need to know what that is. So at the very beginning, we always have Blue and Company, the third party, do a evaluation and say, here's the range of value in your business. Here are some things that you might want to work on that could increase the value of your business. Here are some things that could prevent you from selling your business that you're not aware of. So again, if we have time early on to fix these, the outcome is almost always better and smoother. Again, we already have emotion involved in this. So if all the other stuff that really is emotionless is completed and taken care of, it's easier to deal with the emotional part of it. So I don't think there's an early enough time. Now, obviously, if you're 25 years old and you just got out of dental school, I get it. But I would say, I'm working with folks now in their mid-40s that say, I don't know if I want to do this till I'm 70. I may want to stop earlier. Well, let's create a plan. As the owner of your business, you get to choose when you retire. I've done enough of these now where the best ones that have the fewest hiccups and headaches, we had time to do it. The hardest ones are when we don't have a lot of time. Either way, you do finish the process, but the process is so much smoother if you put your time in on the front end. It's totally a different outcome. The things that we uncover that we didn't know we would uncover if we had had more time. So start early, have a plan,